Hello, everybody. It is time for Happy Planner 101 again. And just a disclaimer, because I've gotten some of these comments recently, I do not know it all. All of these videos come from my own personal experience, and I just wanted to share it with you. And I have also gotten some comments about my weird lighting. I don't know what to do to fix it, to be honest with you. I just make it bright enough so that I can see in the video and so that you guys can kind of see what's going on. But if you are like a lighting guru or like a professional photographer and have any idea how to make this go away or how to make it less bright in the wrong areas and bright enough in the right areas, let me know. I could use all of the help, but I don't know how to fix it, so this is just what it is. I would personally, for me, I would rather have it be too bright or a little bit on the brighter side than a little bit on the darker side. So that's just me, and I apologize if that bugs you or offends you or whatever, but that is just how we do things here until I can afford some classes or get some more professional training. I'm just a girl who loves her planners and wants to show them on the internet. That's it. I'm not super professional. All of those subscribers up there behind my name, those are my friends, and we just hang out here. I'm not a big deal. I'm chilling here and I'm just trying to do my thing. Anyway, disclaimers aside, it's Happy Planner 101 day. And as you can see from the title, I'm going to talk about the monthly view because I see in the comments all the time people who say, I love to plan in my weekly view, and I get that, but I don't really understand or know how to use the monthly view either in a functional way or like what to put on there. This is not the video where I'm going to show you a bunch of different ideas to put on there. I'm just going to walk you through my functional monthly view planning process that I use in my like catch-all style planner. I also use a monthly view in my wellness, and I'll talk about different ways that you can use a monthly view, different ways that you can journal in there and stuff in another video, but today is not that video. Today is really like I guess almost like a monthly view process for my catch-all planner. And that's just kind of what we're doing here today. So if that's of interest to you, give this video a big thumbs up. That would help me out so much. But we're just going to talk a little bit about how I prep my monthly view in my planner. So what I typically will do, let's say although we are already getting close, can we just stop for a minute and realize that we are like a week away from being halfway through February? Why is February 2 days long? What is happening here? I have no idea. What is even going on? I am not mentally ready to be getting on a plane and getting ready to Go Wild. I am not ready, you guys. This is going too fast. Okay, anyway, little mental breakdown aside, what I will typically do, so we have February planned. You can kind of see an example of what I've done here. I would describe my planning style as a little functional and a little decorative. Probably like 70% functional, no, like 80% functional and 20% decorative. I like to decorate because I think it's fun, but my planner for me is very functional. This is the planner that I'm using in my Franken planner. And if you are unfamiliar, if you're brand new, super new to planning, welcome. I'm so excited that you're here, but today is a video that might be the next step for people who are super new. So if you are unfamiliar with how I plan or what Franken planning is, I'll link a couple of those videos either down in the description box or up in the cards if I can remember. But I Franken plan. So in here I have like 4 planners, maybe even 5. And this planner is the one that I'm using for my everyday catch-all planner. What that means, it's like my life planner. It's where everything goes to basically keep all parts of my life on track. So I will put anything in here basically that I need to keep track of that doesn't pertain specifically only to work. So for example, I won't put like work appointments in this planner. That will go in my hourly planner. I won't necessarily write all of my social media commitments in here. Some of those will go in another planner. I don't track my wellness stuff in here. That gets separated out, but anything like kid appointments, any health or other appointments for myself, anywhere that I need to be, anything that like crosses over in any of those other areas. So like if I need to let somebody else in my life know, for example, if I'm like recording a podcast and I need Brian to be with the kids, that'll go in here. If he has an appointment, I may even put that in here. So this is really like where I catch everything in my life so that my brain does not forget it. So that, long story short, when we get towards the end of the month, because we're talking about the monthly view, the first thing that I do is I go into this planner and I will pull out the next monthly layout, and only the month. I don't grab the weeklies. I mean, you can't really help but grab the back of one of them, but I only will grab the month, and I'm just gonna do this and then I'll put this back in here just to kind of show you my process. And some of you have like set up planners with me before, but I usually already have this in here, but I will grab just the monthly layout because for me, as you can kind of visualize from this monthly layout, this is like an overview of everything that I'm gonna break down into smaller chunks. So I have big events in here, so no school days, birthdays, recurring events like Delilah's art, holidays, you know, big events again, like a school start date, a haircut appointment, things like that, that I then take into my weekly view and break down even further. I'll put other like smaller things on my weekly view as well. But really though, the difference for me between my monthly view, like my monthly overview is kind of what I think of this as, and my weekly view are that this is like big picture, and then my weekly view, I break it down even smaller. And then if I absolutely need to, like if I really need that like fine tooth comb to stay super organized that day, I'll also pull in a daily sheet. So I can break things down really small, like hour by hour or just day by day, depending on what my week looks like, depending on what my day looks like. But my monthly view that I use for my catch-all style planner is like a big picture situation. So that is how I use it. But the first thing that I do before I begin a new month is I pull out just the monthly view. And while I still have the previous month in my planner, I actually go ahead and at the very back of that section, so after all of the weeklies, I have, so on the back of my last weekly, I have the currently page, so I know kind of where to put it. I'll put in the monthly view. And actually this is probably a good time to start just having this in here anyway, because this is going to fill up. Things will start to fill up, and as they do, what I will do is I will either use a half sheet, sometimes this works really well for me, or I will use sticky notes. Sometimes these work well for me. So let me just talk a little bit about the pros and cons. So the pros of this are that it probably will not get lost. So it'll be clipped into the discs and you'll have it right here. But these are mobile. So like if something changes, you can move it around on the different days in your planner. Whereas if something changes that you're pre-planning on a sheet like this, you're gonna be crossing out. It doesn't really matter if you're crossing it out, but it can get really disorganized really quickly. So you'll have to kind of decide what system works best for you. And to be honest, and if there's other systems that you guys use for pre-planning, let me know that as well. Another pre-planning tool that I like to use as well is this guy right here. My husband and I have a digital calendar. Oh no, that's like a dirty word in the paper planner community. But my husband and I have a digital calendar. We use just the Apple calendar because we both use iPhones, and we have a shared calendar that we both can see. He is not ever going to pick up my paper planner. That's just not ever something that he's gonna do. It's not a system that works well for him. So we share a digital calendar. I work virtually and in a digital space. And so it works really well to keep things pre-planned or like big picture events on a digital calendar. So pre-planning in here and then transferring some of those events to my paper planner work the best for me. Lately, I've been really into using sticky notes because they are mobile. I can move them around, cancel things. I think that's probably the biggest reason why I've been using these is because welcome to the pandemic. Lots of things get canceled. I have been learning how to be more flexible. But basically what I'll do is I will start writing my pre-planning events in here. because I am not somebody that is just going to write things in my planner as they happen. Number one, I like to film a spread, and so pre-planning is a must for me if I'm gonna film a video of a spread. Full transparency. I also like to decorate. So I like to know everything that's happening and where that's going to fit so that I can move my decor around and add that in here, because for me, function is greater than space. So if for whatever reason, if there was a month where I could only have functional boxes, little asterisks, stars, dots, that kind of thing in my monthly view because it was so dang busy and I had zero room for other decor, number one, I would probably find room for one sticker because that's just who I am. And then number two, that would be fine because at least my life would be in the appearance that I am somewhat organized. Okay, so I will go ahead and write some stuff in here. So for example, I have Go Wild. That is something that I have pre-planned. 3-3. I'm gonna plan it through 3-7. The conference only goes through 3-6, but there's no way that I'm gonna try to get either on a flight or into my car, depending on how I'm leaving the conference. After it. Like, I am just not going to do that. That would be way too stressful for me. And then I would put that right here. I could put a sticky note on each day, but that for me feels a little bit silly. And then we have spring break. I actually need to look at the dates for that, but that is somewhere near like the 21st or the 28th, somewhere in there, depending on when the Easter holiday happens. Oh, International Women's Day is coming up. That's pretty sweet. So I will put spring break on one of these sticky notes, and then I'll put just a question mark. And then when I figure out when that's happening, I'll add the date in here, but I'll just plug this in here. And when I find that date out, I can move this around. So I can totally do that. I don't think I know anything else that is happening right now. Let me just check my digital brain and see if we know anything else. I did actually figure out a few other things. 3-7 is actually the queen herself, Stephanie Fleming's birthday. So happy birthday in advance to Stephanie Fleming. Oh, I can't wait to see her at Go Wild. I am hesitating still on my Go Wild attendance, but because I know Stephanie Fleming is going to be there, and I will get to create a really cool and fun vlog for you all. That's like my big draw. And of course, last but definitely not least, a Leanne hug. And the roomies that we're staying with, I mean, there's a lot of positives. Just the big group and the overwhelm and all of that. It doesn't sound super fun, but I think that I could potentially get over that. And then I did see on here, I think I was trying to ignore this, but daylight savings time. Why do we still do this? Oh my gosh. It's the spring forward one. Not a good time. That's not a good time for anybody, especially people who have children. So those are the big events, and that is basically what I do to pre-plan out my big events. So either sticky notes, a half sheet, a digital calendar, any of those things. If you're brave, you could write your events in pencil on your page. If you pre-plan in a different way that is way more functional than what I have shared, please share it in the comments. Again, as I said at the beginning of this video, I don't know everything. I am only sharing what I have tried and what has like kind of worked for me. I'm open to learning new things. I am a lifelong learner, so please leave your ideas in the comments. Another thing is that some of your planners are undated. Some of them are going to be undated. So some of you may have purchased an undated planner. So another thing that you're going to need to do before you plan your spread is add your little date stickers. So making sure that you add your date stickers and any holidays that are important to you. Additionally, even if you have a dated planner, the Happy Planner doesn't put every holiday in here that's important to every single person. So checking out and making sure that you have marked down holidays that are not listed in here if they are important to you, and making sure that you have those in there as well. So making sure that you are all dated and ready to go is another good thing to do when you are pre-planning your spread. So that could mean putting your days of the week on. It could mean putting your little dates on. And the Happy Planner, if you got an undated planner, or an extension pack or something typically gives you little like date stickers. I will try to put an example of something like that up on the screen. If I cannot, I will try to link it in the description box, but that's typically what they will do with the undated situation. But that is another thing to do. You have to also decide as a new planner, I kind of forgot to mention this because this is not a process that I go through because I have a pretty good understanding of my own style. But you are going to need to decide, if you are new to planning, are your monthly views and your planning style in general, is it going to be like way more functional? You know, are you going to be adding dates into your planner? Are you going to be adding holidays and birthdays and that kind of thing? Or is your monthly view going to be a decorative space? Is it going to be a journaling space? Like, what is it that you're going to be using this space for? Again, I am just showing you what I would do in a fairly functional situation. I like to add decor onto my monthly view because I like it and I think that it keeps me more motivated, or at least that's what I tell myself. But that is definitely something that I like, but that will be a decision that you'll have to make on your own as well. So this is again how I pre-plan. Now let's take a look at my current month and kind of talk this through a little bit. So usually, aside from like that transition time where I have added in a new month to work on that transition to the next month, I really only like to work on 1 month at a time. There are people in the planner community who like to have the current month and the next month in there at all times. Some people like to have the previous month, the current month, and the next month. Some people like to keep 6 months in their planner at a time in various arrangements. Some people like to keep the whole year, the whole 18 months. You've got to decide how chunky you want your planner to be and all of the things that you want to have in there. But I limit myself to 1 month because if you look at the side here, I've got a lot of other things going on. And expander discs are really just not my jam. I know a lot of people who love them. I don't exactly know why I don't like them. They're not any more or less functional, I don't think, than classic size discs, but they're just not my thing. And so because I have multiple planners in one planner, that pretty much limits me to 1 month. If I need to see things in an extended view, again, that is where my digital calendar will come in handy. So having my specific month also keeps me focused on right now, because as an anxious person, I could be planning 5 years ahead. Like, I like to know what is happening when, and I could plan out my next 5 years very quickly. I don't think my family would be very happy about that, to have their schedule so regimented like that. But for me, I could totally do that. But having just 1 month in here at a time keeps me really focused on the now and doesn't let me like go too crazy, because also if I plan too far out in the future and then those plans don't happen, that's really hard for me. I have a difficult time making those transitions when plans change that far in advance. Like, for example, when Go Wild was changing all of those times, it's been really hard on me to have to adjust my mindset to thinking like, okay, well, I'm going to be gone this week. Oh, nope, I'm going to be home. Oh, no, I'm going to be gone again. And now I'm going to be gone here and for this many days and this part. And this kid is having a hard time now. And that has been really tough on me. So planning 1 month at a time works really well for me. If you are somebody who is a washi planner, in your monthly view, you can use washi functionally. So you can use it to mark like extended weekends. You can have it like help you to set off a big holiday like I did here. This was more of like a decorative choice, not necessarily a functional choice, but I have used it to set off long weekends. I have used it to set off holidays. I will likely do that when I mark Go Wild in my planner, those kind of things. So you can use washi functionally. You can also use it decoratively like I did here, but washi is something that you can totally use in your monthly view. And then sometimes I will even pull in like a decorative sticky note. So if I have things that are uncertain, like Go Wild, for example, that's like on my mind right now, you can probably tell, I will add a sticky note on there if I am uncertain. I used to just be totally fine putting down a sticker because I was like, oh, well, I can pull up this sticker and move it. But the Happy Planner paper is not that way anymore. You cannot just put a sticker down and then next week move it around. It just doesn't work very well that way anymore. It's either like the sticker stickiness or the paper that they're using. One of the two is different. And so using a sticky note, if you have something that you want to put in your spread and you're like kind of getting down to the wire, using one of those decorative sticky notes, not necessarily just one of the like pre-planning ones. So for example, I have this Wrong accessory book, and like these are really cute, and like you could add these to a spread. They would look just like a sticker, but they also have the ability to move, something like that. You could also use these to add, you know, lists and that kind of thing. So a decorative sticky note can also help you to add things into your monthly view, but still have places to move them around. I know people who exclusively on their monthly view only use the sticky notes. Another thing that you can do is just be okay with rescheduling events. Like, let's take a look at my January monthly view. So nope, canceled, not gonna happen, rescheduled. I am totally fine with a rescheduled sticker. I have even been known to cross things out in my monthly view. This is where a lot of the like planning happens, and then my weekly views tend to be more functional and pretty, but a lot of that messy planning kind of happens on my monthly view. So being okay with either moving stuff or just generally using a rescheduled sticker. Those are kind of your best options. And then what I do is, as I'm planning this out, and if you have watched my monthly planning videos, you already know this, but I place all of my functional things first. So I go in and all of these boxes that you see here first, those go down in my spread first before anything else. And then if I have room, I will fill in with decor. Sometimes I will put things like this where I know that I have a good chunk of space, because this space doesn't have dates on it. So I'll put this down here and just make that a decorative space. I actually love it when I have a month like this where I have boxes with no dates, so I can just decorate. Same thing like up here. This was a little known decorative space, but other than that, I will put all of my decorative stuff in first before I go in and fill in with decor. That is just something that I do. Even something like this, I don't know if I'm gonna have something come up on the 12th. I actually think that I do. So now I'm gonna have to figure out how to finagle this around and like figure out how to put something here while I have a huge like decorative thing in here, which now that I just realized that is kind of stressful. So I am very functional with my planners, and I like to make sure that they have, you know, my big events in here first before I go in and add some decor. Sometimes I will just add the decor anyway. My last tip is to spend some time in your monthly view as well as your weekly view every day. So making sure that you leave space and time for that every single day is super important, so that you can be as functional as you can and update your planner as often as you can. So thank you so much for watching. Hi, my name is Caitlin, and I would absolutely love it if you would hit that red subscribe button down below and go ahead and give this channel a follow. If you are one of my current followers, thank you so much for all of your love and support. All of my links are down below, and if you'd like to check out my Patreon, that is also linked down below, as well as any other helpful videos. So thanks for checking out this video on my monthly planning, and I will see you guys soon. And by the way, you guys, have fun today.